So the Michigan State spread right now is like 4.5, I think, as of this morning, and 51-52. I like Michigan State at anything 4 or better, and I like the under at anything like 50 or 51 or better. So I did grab some 4.5. I grabbed some 52. I have a little bit of 51.5 in another account. And basically, I think Michigan is legitimately an improved team from where it was last year. I also think Michigan State is an improved team. Obviously, I've been on Michigan State quite a bit this year. What I don't know is going to happen here is, can Michigan run the football on Michigan State? I have a tough time getting a read on both of these teams. Michigan, they really haven't played anybody where they had to throw the football and threw it all that effectively, right? Nebraska game was very close. They were not great throwing the ball. They are missing Wilson. They're obviously missing Bell. That limits their offensive explosiveness through the air. Now, I do think they have more competent quarterback play this year, which is a big deal, right? In previous years, they have not had competent quarterback play. Michigan's guards were out last game. Not totally sure on their prognosis. Certainly, that would be a big help if they can get it back against Michigan State. But can Michigan throw is a major question I have in this game, because this is one of the better defenses that they've faced. I would say Washington was the best defense they've faced, probably, followed by Nebraska. Northwestern this year is pretty terrible. Rutgers' defense actually isn't all that bad. Rutgers' offense is just such a joke. Can Michigan State force them to throw in the football? And if so, can Michigan do it? Pretty big question I have there. On the other side, Michigan State is a team this year, and I'll pull these up so I can cite them and be accurate. Michigan State, to me, is a team that has been living on the explosive play, but offensively, they have not been super consistent, and they have been much more explosive both in the run game and the pass game than they have been consistent. However, Michigan this year is playing more conservatively on defense. They are not allowing the big play through the air nearly as much. They're not running all that stuff that Ohio State ripped those guys up with. And that, to me, is an important note, because in prior years, I would say this Michigan State team could be well primed to beat these guys. However, I think the quarterback battle here is honestly like somewhat advantage Michigan State, but not a ton. Both these guys have played some suspect pass defenses for sure, right? Northwestern is not, they're not good on defense this year. Miami didn't tackle at all in that Michigan State game. Now, credit to Michigan State, but Miami really didn't tackle well. Nebraska limited this Michigan State offense in a major way and showed the blueprint on how to slow them down. Michigan State won the football game because Nebraska's special teams and offense were just incompetent on that day. Western Kentucky throws the ball pretty well. Western Kentucky's defense is totally terrible, so they were not able to exert pressure on this Michigan State offense. Now, Rutgers was missing some guys, obviously. I understand that. But Michigan State hit those really explosive plays against them. And then Indiana was also missing some important cornerbacks and defensive backs in that game. And Michigan State didn't play all that well. They got the win 20-15. But I am a little bit skeptical of Michigan State. I announced that I was kind of off that train. However, I did not think that Michigan would be favored by this much. So I'm back in. Michigan State does run the ball fairly well this year. I think their offensive line is okay. They don't allow. Michigan State does a nice job of hitting explosive plays on early downs. Some of their pass protection on those latter downs is at times suspect. Teams have been blitzing them at times this year with varying degrees of success. I do think Michigan State's explosive play capability here is definitely something that is impressive. The other thing is that Michigan State has been extremely good this year at not allowing explosive plays defensively, especially through the air. They are one of the best in the nation at limiting explosive plays. Now, it is important, though, to remember, does Michigan have greater explosive capability than the teams we have seen on the schedule, especially through the air. Is Michigan more explosive through the air than Northwestern? Yeah, I'd say so. Probably. Yeah. Then Miami? Doubtful. But Miami also, that was the game, if you guys recall, that De'Aaron King got really, really banged up. Then Nebraska? I would say probably similar. Western Kentucky? No, Western Kentucky is a better passing offense than Michigan is. Rutgers, certainly. Indiana, absolutely. So, yes, Michigan State deserves credit for not allowing big plays through the air. But it has not played a murderer's row of explosive passing offenses. And to be frank, neither has Michigan. That will be interesting to see in this game. Can Michigan get pressure without dropping back? Or excuse me, without blitzing? Can they drop a lot of guys into coverage and force Michigan State to execute on a down-to-down basis? Because Michigan State's passing offense is not super consistent. On a down-to-down basis, they're third and long, third and medium stuff, really not that great conversion rate. So if you can avoid the explosive play, you can beat Michigan State, which is what I believe Michigan will attempt to do in this game. I think Michigan's defensive line can do okay against Michigan State. But what offense do I have more confidence in throwing the football? It is still Michigan State slightly. Michigan, with who they have out, I don't know who scares you on the outside. Cornelius Johnson, okay. Are you scared of Baldwin? I don't know, maybe, but they're not really crushing it there. I could be wrong on this game, but I expect this game to be a lower scoring slog of a game where explosive plays are limited by both sides, and it'll likely come down to who executes in the red zone better, who has better turnovers, and I think Michigan State is live to win the football game. The last time Michigan went on the road, and granted it's whatever, like the last time they went on the road, they didn't look all that great against Nebraska. The prior time they went on the road, they whipped Wisconsin. It's very possible Michigan wins this game, but in what I project is a lower scoring game, I will go ahead and take the points with Michigan State here, especially if I can still get that 4.5.